All right, welcome back out to the Louisville Show, 2026 Louisville Show. MH Sales Mastery out here, booth 551 and 553. If you're out here, you're watching this right now, come on by and see us. And we are doing our Manufacture to Win live as we do every single year when we're traveling around. And well, you know what, man? We figured that we would bring somebody on the show this time that has been in the industry for quite a bit some time. I'm not gonna say how long, right? And but hey, started in sales, in retail sales, and then spent a good portion of the most recent years actually helping other companies, other retailers do this. We got Mr. John Ace Underwood with us out here at the booth, and very, very excited to have you, John. How are you, man?
I'm doing well, and I appreciate you having me.
No, we appreciate you being here. And for those of you that may not know, right, we are actually unveiling it here at the Louisville Show. But John has actually joined forces with MH Sales Mastery, and we're putting a really special program together, right? We're using John's talent, his experience, and everything that he knows on how to take retailers to another level. And we're putting together what we're calling the owner circle, right? Now, John, you and I spoke about this a few months back, right? We were talking about it. And first of all, what's the idea behind it? What is the owner circle?
It's a lot of people out there who've been in the industry for quite a few years will remember Dealer 20 groups. And I used to be involved with those, 25 years ago. And they were always very productive. But as you and I discussed that, these are groups that are, if they're still existing somewhere, there's not very many of them. And it's, I would say there's probably no time in the past, Cesar, where we've had a greater need for such groups than we do right now. But that's essentially what it is. It's a Dealer 20 group. Not to jump ahead here, but one of the benefits that we've always discovered from these Dealer 20 groups is it's an education for participants where they not only learn from the person facilitating or the people facilitating the group, but rather they learn from each other. These are going to be anywhere from 15 to 20 other people that are basically feel that they're fighting the same headwinds that every other member is fighting, and so they get to share ideas, and that's how the best ideas turn into reality, and that's what we want to do.
Yeah, there you go. So then we're talking to owners. We're talking to you right now, okay? Sales consultants, we're not saying don't listen, but we're talking specifically to owners because this is a group. It's not even a mastermind. I'm not going to call it a mastermind, although it's got kind of it. It's almost, sharing ideas or what's working here for me. And hey, this didn't work for me over there. And they learn from each other. But it's beyond that, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I would make one notable distinction. A mastermind group is really about becoming a better manufactured home retailer.
No.
What we want to do with the owners group is we're going to work with people that already are that have mastered the manufactured housing industry, but now want to become better single family home builders.
Yeah.
That's what we're trying to reach, an audience that typically our industry isn't reaching. Does that make sense?
Yes. So these are those owners that have already figured it out. Right, they got themselves to that point.
Oh, and they're doing well.
Right, they're doing well, but they know that they could do more. They just maybe need a little bit of help with this or that, and that's where this group comes in.
Exactly.
Right.
And I think you've discovered the same thing in the work that you've done, is that it's really easier to take someone who's got one location, is doing 100 plus homes a year, and take them to 175 than it is to take someone who's doing 20 and take them to 22.
Oh, yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's so we're making this. It's an exclusive group, and it sounds like it's a terrible thing to say, but it's exclusive. And in order to be exclusive, you have to be willing to exclude. Right. And we want to limit this to people who have the same level of experience, the same level of mastery of the industry, because you think about it this way, Cesar, if people are in a group, they have to believe that the other people in the group can bring just as much to the party as they can.
Yes.
Otherwise, there's no balance. And so now, but here's what's really interesting. There's going to be a number of owners out there who think, yeah, but I'm not at that point yet. Well, we can help you get to that point very quickly. There's just about 5 or 6 things that everybody who's going to be in the owners group is going to have have mastered. And we look at 3 things. We look at lead generation, which is basically marketing. Then we lead conversion, which is basically sales. And we look at lead management, which is basically CRM. Those are the 3 things that you have to have mastered. And if it's a sales conversion or lead conversion issue, the sales issue, certainly between the 2 of us and the resources that we have, that's a problem we can fix.
For sure.
But those problems have to be fixed before you venture out into the other area, into the so-called unknown.
Yeah, and you know, you mentioned something that really resonated with me, which you said, you know, hey, it's almost easier to take that person doing 100 to take them to 175 because they already see it.
That's right.
Right. Whereas that was one location that's doing 20, 30 homes to say, hey, you can do 100. They can't see that. And it's harder. They fight it. They push against it. I've been there. I've dealt with a whole bunch that are like that. So that's why I also want to say in this group, not only are we talking marketing and lead management and conversions and all these things, but we're also talking about what's it going to take from a culture standpoint within your organization to get to that. Because I think you would agree with me that, like the saying goes, I mean, what got you here won't get you there. Right? What got our little humble company from where it started 3 years ago to where we are now, it started with me, and now we've got 8 people here to get it to where we're at.
Yeah.
You know, so it takes, but it also took me talking to other people to find out, hey, well, what do I need to do to scale this, to scale that, to do these? So there's other little things that I think also are going to be involved in this, right?
Yes, but let me just back up.
Yeah,
One
please.
thing that I find that I think needs to be said. When you say 3.5 years ago, I came into this business, I started asking questions. Here's what people have to understand. When you started, the day one, you brought with you the experience of having been a general manager of an organization that was extraordinarily successful. So you already know what it takes to get to the 175 homes. And I think that's the magic that we're going to be able to do now. And that's why I'm so excited about our collaboration. I really believe we are the force to be reckoned with in terms of helping retailers expand and be able to sell everything that is possible to sell.
Right. Yeah, I agree 1,000%. You know, so it's whether it's independent, obviously we know corporate's it's a different animal, you know, but for all you independents out there, we really are here, John and I, to be able to serve you and provide, I think, that level of support, that guidance, to see around the corners, because you're busy in the day-to-day. Sometimes you don't see these things that we may be able to catch.
Exactly right. We have the outside in perspective.
Yeah.
Most owners, and I'm speaking to owners, most of you have the inside out perspective, and the outside in perspective is uniquely different. I don't know how many of you heard of a gentleman by the name of Michael Gerber, but Michael Gerber wrote a book called The E-Myths. Something, I forget what the byline is. It's The E-Myth and why most small businesses don't work and what to do about it. That's his byline. Well, I'm a staunch advocate of his. I mean, almost to the point of discipleship, not because I certainly have a great admiration for Michael Gerber, but his stuff, his material just made so much sense to me. And I can tell you that the people that I've worked with over the last 30 years, the ones that followed that approach, that strategy to business, they were just heads and shoulders over anybody else. And look, at the end of the day, we can't guarantee the future. We can't guarantee that you're going to get to 175 homes. But what we can absolutely guarantee is if you follow our advice and implement the processes and the systems and the procedures in the market that you are in, you will be the last one standing if everything comes to a stop.
That's for sure. And I think the beautiful thing about it, it just made sense to bring this here to us and take it to you, because what John was talking about, you mentioned earlier, John, you said, hey, we have the insight on how to be able to help you increase sales and sales processes and techniques, tactics, whatever you want to call it. But what we're talking about, and you just mentioned it, is where if you needed that part of it as well, whether it be marketing or it's tech or sales, we can also help with that.
Absolutely.
But this group, make no mistake about it, it's very specific, owners only. It's exclusive. Not just because you're an owner doesn't mean you automatically qualify. Okay, we want to make sure that you're also open to change, because it's going to take a little bit of change to be able to make changes.
One of the reasons why I think that this kind of a group was so successful is because the other members in the group, you're going to build a bond with those people. Do you realize that we used to have, and I think some of these groups may still be intact, at least partly, because I mean, there's been attrition through death and people retiring. But some of these groups, they were actually together for 15 years.
Wow.
15 years, they would get together on a regular basis. Well, what's interesting about that, Cesar, is that those people are going to hold you accountable as well. It's not just the guy in front of the room. Listen, at the end of the day, yeah, we have some knowledge, but we don't have as much knowledge as those other 13, 14, 15 people in your group, because they have years and years of experience. So our biggest challenges is making sure that the people that are in the group are equally qualified to be there. And when we can do that, and like I said, if we decide that a person isn't qualified, we can, because it's not that difficult. You just have to know what to do.
Right.
And everybody has to be doing the same thing. So when we have conversations, we're all measuring the same things.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's what makes it so exciting.
Well, I mean, it's going to be fantastic. I'm not going to say I think it's going to be great. I know it's going to be great. And for those of you that are watching this and you, maybe a little part of you felt like, man, yeah, you know what? I could do this a little bit better, or I need a little help with that. You should definitely go on our website, go to mhsalesmastery.com, click on the tab for Owner Circle. There's a form there. Fill it out. Okay. We're not going to just fill out that form. Either John or myself will reach out to you. We'll talk a little bit more about it and carry out some conversations, questions, make sure it's a good fit for us, you. That way we can make sure that we're all working together and in unison for the same purpose, right? So I'm excited about it, man. I'm looking forward to it.
I think we're going to do some big things. I really do. I think we're going to help the people that we work with. I really believe we're going to take them to the next level.
For sure. And that's all we're about here, right? Is next level results. So I'm looking forward to it. Go online, check it out right now, mhsalesmastery.com. Owner Circle up on the top right-hand corner. Fill out the form, and we'll be back in touch with you so we can get this thing rolling. So you guys enjoy the rest of your day. If you're out here in Louisville, come on by booth 551, 553. We've got details here. Talk to John, and we'll get things rolling for the Owner Circle. You guys have a great one.